Hello, my magical friends, and welcome back to my channel, my blog, my pretty much everything. Right now, I practically live on Substack and YouTube at the moment. Today, I wanted to talk about quite a few things, actually. We are going to discuss Mercury retrograde, eclipse season, and manifestation uh, during this time. Right now, we are in between that like ambitious, fire burning roar energy of the year of the fire horse, which started on the 17th this month. And then, like 2 days later, we went into Mercury retrograde. Yay! So it's like, oh, we're at the gate. We're ready to go. We are ready. We are so ready to start. But then, of course, anybody who knows retrograde and retrograde energy, it is literally pulling back on the reins and saying, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's plan a little bit. Let's readjust, reassess before we jump out the gates. For the spring equinox on the 20th. So today I wanted to talk about it. I know everybody talks about it. I know you're probably seeing an influx of, oh, if you just buy my program, you can survive retrograde, this, that, and the other. Um, yes and no, but uh I digress. As much as I would love for you to buy my readings and to schedule coaching sessions, I really want to help you stay sane during this time. Even though the world seems like it's going crazy, there is so much going on. There is an influx of not only like astrological energy, we are also in Pisces season. Let me add that. My daughter is a Pisces. One of my besties is a Pisces. One of my other besties has a Pisces stellium. And the energy of this like nurturing and caring, but also like feeling and wanting to do something about what is going on is hitting a lot of us. So take a seat, maybe grab your journal, grab your favorite drink and get comfortable, and let's explore this together. I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee because we don't have a pause button. So first I wanted to talk about retrograde in general, especially like understanding Mercury in retrograde. So, this is the astronomical event that happens about 3 to 4 times a year when Mercury appears to go backwards in the sky. It's really not going backwards, but it just looks like it is. It it is an optical illusion, but it is definitely influencing our communication, our technology, our travel, our like wounds that come to the surface, emotions, feelings, reaction levels. It affects things that we need to work on spiritually as well as physically in our lives. There are a lot of misunderstandings going on during this time. Personally, my husband and I had that the other day, and I completely forgot it was retrograde. And literally, like after our argument, I was like, "Oh my god!" But it needed to happen, and now we move forward, right? So here are a few tips that I recommend during Mercury retrograde and how to navigate it. Always remember for technology, back up your data. Always save. I mean, I'm talking go back to Y2K, to your computer science class, when they would tell you just keep saving, always save. It is literally what you should do now. Just continuously save. At the same time, try not to get too terribly upset when technology goes beep. I was going through this yesterday. My friends and I are starting a new podcast, and the entire time we kept having to like turn off Google Meets, try FaceTime, try Meets again, and then in the middle of it, my one friend who understands retrograde was just like, retrograde is retrograding. Another tip during this time is to mind your words. Be extra clear in your communication. whether it's in emails, conversation, text messages, Instagram, be extra clear. Whatever you are writing or typing, make sure that you read and reread and go over details and try to not overanalyze, but overanalyze at the same time. Vastly confusing, I understand. But if you are signing contracts, make sure you read every detail, even the minute ones. If you are starting a new job, make sure you understand completely what your job description is, things like that. Another one, which is probably the most important of retrograde, is staying flexible. I have a Capricorn and Scorpio stellium, which that's not what I'm talking about in this video, but I will get into that later. I just learned about stelliums this year, which is I'm super fascinated by. But anyhow, my Scorpio stellium is very like passionate, like feeling and just water. It's right. But then my Capricorn stellium is very grounded, very level-headed, very like plan. Not very flexible. Where my Scorpio, because it's water, is a little more malleable. Uh, Definitely stay flexible in travel plans, in relationships, friendships. I personally am having this energy of I'm quite done with the bullshit. And I am really done with like excuses for myself, for people in my life, for just people around me. My husband is feeling the same way, bringing up, bless his Virgo son, bringing up a lot of important details about how, you know, we want to do so much, but we keep saying, like, oh, we're going to do it, we're going to do it. And then, like, the tiniest mishap happens, and we're not very flexible. We're very rigid. So allow for extra time for traveling, allow extra time for changing your plans because that is definitely going to happen right now. With eclipse season, okay, with eclipse season and having to embrace this time. I mean, we are going through so much astrologically right now with retrograde eclipse season and new and full moons, and then we have spring equinox coming up. We just celebrated the new lunar year. There is so much going on right now. So we just had our first eclipse of the year, and eclipses just, I'm not gonna lie, I do really like eclipses. They are very, very powerful cosmic events that can bring about extreme significant changes in relations in our lives. They often signify endings, but they also bring about beginnings. Think about, right? The transition. So it's like blocking something, but then revealing at the same time. That is what eclipse shows, endings and beginnings. So think about everything in your life up until it was what the 18th was the eclipse in Aquarius, and think about everything that you were ending, and then think about the next few weeks to the next eclipse. Like, what new beginnings can you bring about? This is a great time for self reflection and transformation. Being that it's in Mercury retrograde, as well as eclipse season, this self reflection and transformation is going to be the catalyst for when the spring equinox happens on the 20th. You are going to literally just shoot off. I get a lot of questions about harnessing eclipse energy. I love chaos magic. I have realized in the past few years that I am actually a chaos magic witch, which I did not realize that that was a thing until recently. So That is something that I am very excited to learn about. And how we harness this energy. It's like taking a lasso and like trying to hook onto this energy. The biggest thing is reflection. Reflect, reflect, reflect. Take time to journal, take time to meditate, take walks in nature if you can. I understand half of the East Coast is under like 5 feet of snow. Um, so, maybe put on a YouTube video and walk on your treadmill. But take and reflect on areas of your life that need to change and that you need closure in. Closure does not happen from other people, closure happens within yourself. That is the biggest lesson I've learned about closure. Uh, a lot of people think closure is, you need it from an outside source when it really is closure within yourself. So, this is something to reflect on during this time. Like I said, meditation is a really good way to use this. It's a great tool to center yourself and gain clarity on the intentions you want to place for the coming year. Just like in Mercury retrograde times, eclipses bring about change. So embrace the change. Oh, I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard. I am a very like routine type of person. That might be my neurodivergence, that might be my Aquarius sun or my Cancer rising. But embracing change is really about being open to the shifts of energy that come our way and think about it in a way that they might lead us to new opportunities. That's really hard to feel like that when you're going through it. I understand. I yesterday was like crying on the floor, going through a mini meltdown, and my husband had to point out, like, hey, you just feel stagnant. It's going to happen. Like you just look for the opportunities. Manifestation during these cosmic events. So let's start with manifestation and magic and the creation of our dreams. And manifestation in this is all about focusing our energies into our desires to bring them into reality. If it was easy, as most of these people will tell you it is, we would all be holding our hand out and cash would fall into the palms of our hands. That is not how manifestation really works. That's not how magic really works. Now, yes, I stand here today in proof and evidence that manifestation and magic are real. You can definitely do it. But it really is more than just and I like to tell people, plan for your manifestations, your magic, your spells, your intentions, however you would test them to, plan them during this time. Don't actually create them during this time. This is more about preparing for that. During Mercury in retrograde, especially eclipse season, it is very crucial to stay mindful to your intentions as these periods can amplify the energy that you put in. So, like I said, don't try to manifest a lot right now. Start simple, stay simple. If you are struggling with something that needs to be worked on during this time and you're trying to manifest something, that energy from what you're trying to work on over here is going to affect your your manifestations. So think about it as an example like this. We are trying to accomplish something, right? But if we're feeling a lack, if we're feeling self doubt and insecurities, that's going to be the energy of what we're trying to manifest. So if you're trying to manifest more money, but all you're focusing on is lack because that's what retrograde is like presenting to you, what do you think you're going to manifest? And I'm talking to myself about this too. Like, so here are some steps. If you do, like I said, it's not a problem manifesting during these times. It's more of just staying aware of like the energy that's going around. I personally like to plan during Mercury retrograde and eclipse season, not necessarily try to manifest for that desire. But here are some ways if you really want to work through it. Make sure you set clear intentions. I mean, the clearest of clear intentions. Be specific as possible about what you want to manifest in your life. Visualize it, visualize it, visualize it, visualize it by spending time each day thinking and focusing on your goals as if they've already been achieved. I'm literally looking at my notes and seeing, like, oh my God, I need to do this better. And affirmations, I continuously forget unless I write them down. Mom brain, brain fog from perimenopause. I get it. But affirmations will help to reinforce our beliefs and intentions. They also show us during this time what your limiting beliefs are. So, creating affirmations to transform your limiting beliefs into positive beliefs is really a good thing to work on during this time. And then release, release, release. Trust that the universe, trust that your higher power, your goddesses, your gods, your God, whatever you believe in or whatever you believe in, trust that it is working in your favor. Let go of any attachment to the outcome. I get it. That is literally like the hardest piece of advice to give. Um, my husband and I are desperately trying to move to Oregon. That is not our biggest wish. And we have spent the past year trying to accomplish this. And I think the attachment to that has really affected, plus reality. Like, a lot of people don't tell clients or don't tell people that manifestation works, but sometimes the timing's off. Sometimes it's not meant to be. So you just have like learn to let go and learn to release it and trust that in the right time, these things will come to us. Finally, I want to talk about maintaining our sanity and staying sane amidst the chaos of what's going on right now in the world. The world is going chaotic. There are there is so much that is going on that is so painful to watch. Personally, as a mother, I am having a hard time with everything that's going on as far as the EP files and seeing these videos and pictures coming out. I am having a hard time with, this goes to my Aquarius sun, that justice and justice to be served. I am having a hard time with seeing people struggling, and so many people are struggling. Food costs are out the window. I see it personally. I've seen other people talk about it. I spent over $100 on 18 items. And I am talking, I got the generic version, basics. Almost knocked over my coffee. Blasphemy. But I am seeing so much pain and so much struggling. And having to take a step back during retrograde and eclipse season to really like recenter and refocus, I have come up with my little 4-step process to try and stay sane during this. And I want to share that with you. Self care. This is the biggest one. This is the biggest one. And it's so hard for us to do self care right now. It's hard for mothers. It's hard for fathers. It's hard for just everyone. It is really hard to do self care right now when the world seems like it's on fire. Make a list. Make a list of your self care bag, pretty much, is what I've been doing. Prioritize activities that nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit. Things like exercise and reading, or even taking a bath. If that is something that is part of your self care routine, find ways to incorporate it into your daily life. Yes, I would absolutely love to take bubble baths every day, but that's not practical. So, start small, start simple, and be easy with yourself about this. Like, that's all part of self-care too, is like be gentle with yourself. I said this earlier, but connecting with nature, spending time outdoors and grounding ourselves will really help us gain perspective. It really helps open our minds and open those doors to inspiration, to creativity, to releasing, to manifestation, to our magic, to connection to our higher powers, to our ancestors, and to our guides. Spending times outdoors is really, really important right now, especially when everything you're seeing on the screen and everything you're seeing just in media in general is telling you to stay indoors and be scared, stay indoors, be scared. Get outside, put your bare feet, even if it's 20 degrees, put your bare feet in the ground just for literally 5 seconds. I don't know how to explain like the vibrations and the energies and how it really truly affects your being. But there's something about connecting to our earth that is very, very important. This is a big one. And this is a big one for our family too, and my friends, and it is limit your media intake. Limiting our news intake, limiting our media intake, limiting the negative uh, regurgitative and word vomit that's going on right now. My husband actually just did a video about this and about how, like, right now people are just doing nothing but sharing all of this pain, but no one's actually doing something about it. And that is the part about limiting is because we need time. We need to know what's going on, but we also need time away to focus on how to help, how to heal, how to pretty much survive. Um, it's really about like staying informed, but avoiding overconsumption because overconsumption leads to that stress and anxiety. And that is something that Mercury retrograde and eclipse season will really, really affect is the anxiety, our depression, our stress. It literally is like, and what does media do? It just amplifies that for us. My last biggest thing about staying sane is really reach out to those that care about you, the ones that truly support you. Connecting with friends and family, whether it's your chosen family or family that you were born into, whoever is truly there for you, share your experiences and support each other. There have been plenty of times that I've called my best friend crying, asking about what the hell is going on with me. And she has to remind me about things. I have to remind her about things. And just the support, making you feel less crazy during this time is really important. And sometimes we can't do that for ourselves. So create your chosen family if you must. If you have one to two friends that you trust completely, reach out to them and explain, be clear, be specific. Like let them know what's going on. And there you have it. Uh, Understanding with your retrograde and eclipse season and really learning how to bring a sense of calm and control during these times. And remember, always remember, the universe is always in motion. And so are you. You're always going to evolve, you're always going to transform and grow. And if you enjoyed this video, if you found any of these tips helpful, I would really, really appreciate a thumbs up, a subscribe, and sharing with your friends because that really, really helps me too. Until next time, keep shining and stay magical. I love you.